Near the beautiful North York Moors, in the pretty town of Kirby Moorside, lives auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
480, 480, 480 in the room.
Yeah. With his hard-working team...
There we go.
Angus has grown his auction house into a thriving business.
This is an interesting piece. 2 cherubs. Not you two, is it?
When he's not on his rostrum...
We're off on another job again.
He's clearing cluttered homes...
I'll start having a rummage and see what we can find.
Great.
...in search of unwanted items to go under his gavel.
The West Riding of York, 1610. See my house.
Have a look at everything, but there's all sorts of stuff.
OK.
Using his expert knowledge...
The more and more I go through this, the value's totting up.
He finds hidden treasures...
This is what I'm in the business for.
...and uncovers forgotten heirlooms.
Looks like me on a dance floor.
Taking them back to the sale room...
Is it shiny?
Is it shiny?
Wow.
Angus, am I allowed to use this?
Put it down, that's mine.
He auctions these once-cherished items...
These were all just sat in the loft.
Gathering dust.
...making their owners a very...
£740.
...pretty...
I'm just astonished.
...penny.
At 900.
Woohoo!
This is a challenge sometimes. They're trying to find a place you can put some of this stuff properly.
Just lean it up there.
At the auction house, Angus's staff of antique experts are busy researching and cataloguing some fascinating finds.
What's this?
I don't really know. It's like a tiny little bird bath, isn't it? For tiny little birds.
Aww.
You can imagine like a little wren on there or just having a bath. Probably so.
But Angus is heading out on a job again, if he can find his trusty sidekick.
Pete, we haven't got time to be playing around on machinery.
Oh, why? What have you got in store now?
It's pretty good though, isn't it?
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah, we need to hit the road.
Yeah, all
I
right.
suppose you want me to buy you some lunch?
Got to keep me going somehow.
All right.
Angus and Pete are making a 4.5-hour trek to Norfolk.
Well, good old drive, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
This is nice and sunny today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely and bright, but then it's too bright for driving.
The lads are off to North Walsham to visit ex-army engineer Stuart and his daughter Emma, who are trying to shed some of the family's many collections.
That's just my junk collection of coins as a kid.
So you were the biggest geek ever.
I
collecting
collected
stamps and coins.
and coins and steam engines and cars, and it was the 1970s.
As well as being a collector himself, Stuart has inherited collectibles from his parents, grandparents and uncles.
I've lost a few family members in the past few years, and you tend to hold on to things, militaria, ornaments, plates, all sorts of things that you just drag along from house to house.
And it's better to go to someone that actually is going to enjoy it rather than just being sat in the attic in a box somewhere.
Stuart and his wife Rochelle are moving house following a life-changing incident.
Rochelle fell in the bathroom and it seems she broke a femur. And then 3 months later, because she was still suffering with quite a lot of pain, it was discovered that she had bone cancer.
Rochelle being diagnosed with cancer was a massive shock. I was at my mum's at the time, 100 miles away, and then everything just kind of spiralled after that, and it has been difficult on our family. It really has.
She'll be there till the end. We love each other.
His wife has got terminal cancer, so they're having to readjust their lives. We're going to move to a property that's a bit more suited for her.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have to adapt it, make it wheelchair friendly, and that sort of thing. So hopefully we can help. You know, it's I think they're just having to be very practical. It's really a complete thin out.
Well, hopefully it'll do the job and put it towards what they need.
Well, here we are, Pete. Right, well, I'll pop in and see what's what.
Shall wait here as usual.
Hello.
Good morning, how are you doing? You all right?
How are you doing? Have a good journey down here?
Yeah.
Coming in.
Thank you very much. How is it that I can help you today?
We're trying to clear collections, lots of collections of things, family things. There's a lot of aircraft stuff, so there's a lot of memorabilia to do with that.
Stuart's inherited a lot of militaria over the years, as his family have fought in 2 world wars and have military roots going back 4 generations.
I can see what you're saying about the RAF and sort of military interest, all the signed prints there.
The pictures belong to Stuart's uncle Alan, who was an RAF engineer working on fighter jets at the local RAF base in the 1970s and 80s.
He'd obviously bought all these prints and had them framed. He had access to pilots and such like. He got pilots to sign them.
Well, that's interesting, and that makes them a lot more interesting from a collector's point of view as well.
With only a day to get the job done and get all the way back to Yorkshire, they'll need to get packing and loading.
You right, Pete?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're enjoying the sunshine, aren't you?
I was, yeah.
Well, it won't take us long to load, but a few interesting bits.
All right, yeah.
Right, Pete. Basically, I know it doesn't look a lot, but it's what's on the table, the big box, and all the pictures, but they're quite good. If you see the, well, all of them, but that front picture there.
This one?
The artist Michael Rondeau. He's a fairly sought-after aircraft artist, isn't he? I mean, he does well.
Yeah, is there any more like that then?
There's loads in there, I think, Pete. That's quite moody, that, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
There's
Yeah,
the
I like
Arctic
that one.
Warrior. Yeah.
Uncle Alan didn't just collect paintings of aircraft.
And he collected all these coins, and there's Canadian ones as well. But what's the good thing, Pete?
They're all unopened,
Yeah.
untouched.
So they're proofs
Yeah.
and
Silver?
silver. Yeah, they're all silver proofs. So that obviously adds quite a bit of value because they're solid silver ones.
It's a nice deep box as well, isn't it?
You know, we could end up with 40, 50 lots out of this, couldn't we?
Yeah.
And then there's also, I mean, this really a box for Harriet. That's full of jewellery.
I should love that.
Yeah, so put that somewhere safe in the van.
There's a right treasure trove here. While Pete starts packing it all,
I've come across all these medals when we're going through the bits in the conservatory, and presumably these are all family medals.
Yes, yeah, they are.
I'm guessing this must be yours, is it?
Yeah, that was mine. I was sent to Iraq in 2003.
What regiment were you in?
I was attached to 9 Supply and 27 Reg. I was a vehicle mechanic.
but not all the medals are Stuart's.
So who would this have been, Second World
That
War?
was my granddad Bell, who joined the Navy.
Sense because he was in the Royal Naval Reserve.
Yes.
Yeah, and minesweeper by the look of it. Presumably the RAF medal was your uncle that had all the...
Yes, that was me uncle's long service medal.
And then going even further back, you know, we've got a World War I medal, the Victory Medal. Who would this have been?
That was my great-granddad who survived the trenches.
Wow.
And those medals are my granddad, who was in the RAF repairing Lancaster bombers.
I mean, what, you know, just there, what huge amount of family history. Obviously, you'll be keeping all these. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's lovely to see, and I think, you know, what a lovely bit of history, and to have that across the generations.
Angus can't take these, and rightfully so. But it's important he does come away with enough things today that can raise a decent amount of cash.
You know, you've got to feel for them, you know. They're having to move. Rochelle's, you know, got terminal bone cancer, and, you know, the move is all about making life easier for her and the family, and I really hope we can help with that.
It's been difficult. It's definitely been difficult for my dad, but he's really rose to the challenge, if you like, and the house is just the last thing that needs doing. They just need somewhere comfortable to sort of retire and live out the rest of their days. If we could get that house and them adaptions, it would be fantastic end of her life with the person that she loves.
As the loading progresses, what else is turning up?
Find little things like this, and you think it's a bit of metal stuck to a wooden board. Well, it's not just a bit of metal, it's a part of a Lancaster bomber.
Angus's tiny treasure belonged to Grandad Bell, who repaired Lancaster bombers during World War II.
You know, the Lancaster's iconic. It was the main British bombing plane during World War II. So, you know, a massive part of the war efforts. And just as a little novel thing to have a bit of a Lancaster on your desk or on your wall, it's great. And you know what? I can see that doing all right. It's not going to be fortunes, maybe 30 to 50. Right, so it's me going up the ladders again, is it, Pete?
Yeah,
Why does it always work out like this?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not getting any younger.
You love lofts, Angus. And this one is packed with more of Uncle Alan's collectibles.
Quite a bit to pass down, you know.
Is there?
Not surprising, perhaps, that Uncle Alan collected model planes.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's loads, Pete.
Is there?
We could open an airport with all these.
Very little one, yeah.
They keep finding boxes of aircraft, Pete.
Do you?
It's gone all the way back to the back of the loft, and there's boxes and boxes. Actually, at the back of the collection is where the real gems are. There's going to be a lot of interest for these. These are all going to be individual lots. Lancaster bomber there, Pete.
Yep.
I think that's it, Pete.
After 4 hours of solid graft, Pete and Angus have filled the van with a museum's worth of military history, as well as toys, coins and Grandma's jewellery.
Well, that's us all loaded up. You've got your kitchen table back.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You've been a help.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, I think there's actually some really interesting bits out of it, and I think we get a few surprises on auction day, actually.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, yes.
With the loft looking neater,
I've never had an attic as tidy as that before.
and the house looking fit for sale,
When people come to view the property now we're selling, it won't look like some sort of car boot sale.
Do you know what? I think we're all going to have a surprise on this one, and I'd be delighted to get some great results. They've obviously got some difficult times ahead, and you know, if we can help raise some money that makes that easier and a bit more comfortable, then you know, all to the good. So, all in all, fantastic day, and I'm really excited for the auction.
before that, Angus and Pete need to make that 4-hour drive back.
Back to Yorkshire, Pete.
And then the hard work, getting this stuff ready for auction, can really begin. Angus and Pete are back from Norfolk.
So we've got loads of stuff that you'd like.
Models expert Nick is on hand to help Pete unload and have a sneaky peek.
Looks interesting. Assuming the models are in here, because we've had many times where we've got boxes and boxes and
Do you know I
nothing in
never
them.
checked?
I mean, initial look looks fantastic.
Why, right?
That's a Spitfire 132nd.
I mean, it's for adult collection.
Well, so when you use the phrase adult collecting, some people might get the wrong idea.
But what's good about that one,
We've got,
for instance?
So World War II, when the Americans were forming up to go over to Europe and bomb Germany, they would get knackered old bombers and they would paint them up in really garish colours so they could be seen from miles and miles. And they would be the lead aircraft, and all the other aircraft, because they could be seen from miles, would then they would formate around that, and they would get all sort of formed up on this one.
He's a right proper plane geek, is Nick.
Yeah, they're quite cool, I suppose.
Nice. There's usually sort of certificates and stuff inside. Just in really good condition. I mean, if they're all like that, these are made.
I don't see why they shouldn't be. A lot of them were up in the attic.
Absolutely sort of mint and immaculate. Can I just take all these home tonight and just inspect them? I'm in heaven, this man. This is brilliant.
Inside, Harriet's preparing the catalogue for auction.
Just finishing off the pictures just now.
And hidden among Stuart's grandmother's costume jewellery was something rather surprising.
I found this 1879 young-haired sovereign necklace. So that's a really nice early coin that is unsolded in the mount as well, which is great for coin collectors.
The Victorian Sovereign is almost 24 grams of solid gold.
We think this should do quite a lot of money, so yeah, excited about this.
I haven't seen one of these before.
Model expert Nick is checking that a vintage steam train Angus discovered at Stuart's is in proper working order. Well, somebody has to do it.
So you've got your little engine, you've got Your two freight cars here. Mamod have been making the models of steam engines since the 1937. The great thing about these, they're quite unassuming little models, but they are real live steam engines. For these trains, they developed a solid fuel system, so solid methylated spirits really in these fuel blocks, and you just pop these in, set fire to them, and start to boil the water up. So you'd light it, and that just slots into here.
Ah, back in the days when it was safe for kids to play with fire.
And then you just wait for the water to boil up, and once it's boiled up, off you go. Well, that's fantastic. I feel like I'm a child again.
Woo-hoo! 4 weeks after Angus was at Stuart's, he and his daughter Emma have arrived for the auction.
Come on then. Sort of whatever you make today is going towards that, sort of the extras on the house that's going to make Rochelle's life a little bit easier. People assume that cancer is just one of them things that kills you, but there's a long time in between that you need care and equipment. And every little helps. And every little helps, yeah.
They've got a lot of lots in, over 90 lots in the sales. It's actually a really good job. We've had lots of interest. I think they could be in for a real shock today, because I don't think they actually have any idea what it's worth.
Let's hope so, Angus.
Oh, me toys. You know why I bought these, don't you? No. Because I was a deprived child and I never had one as a kid.
Morning. Are you all right?
Yeah, we're all right.
There's quite a lot, isn't there?
There is quite a lot.
There's an interesting mix of items, I think that's the...
Yeah, there is.
Key. But I'll let you have a look round and catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
With bidders poised online and in the room, there's no time to lose. Helping Angus are auction clerks Jasper and Jack, dealing with internet bids, and Harriet is today's porter. And we're off.
Let's go.
First up, Uncle Alan's fighter jet prints.
A lot of these pictures coming have all been signed, and we know it's genuine because he worked in the Air Force and got them all signed by the pilots. So there we go. A Lightning Thunder, limited edition there, and the F4 Phantom.
Yeah, you see, Alan used to work on Lightnings.
Where should be for this one? 50 bid, 560, 570, 580 is it now?
The bidding is really starting to soar.
85, 90, 90 pounds it is, then at 95, 100, 100 pounds at 100. We're all done at 100 pounds.
A fantastic start to the auction. Over the next 15 minutes,
45.
Angus proceeds to auction off another 14 prints by Michael Rondo, making over £500.
We're all done at 100 pounds.
It's so satisfying, that thud. Thud.
Thud.
Yeah.
Next up, another of Uncle Alan's collections, his coins, split into 16 lots. First, 2 United States of America silver $1.
Where should be 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 80 pounds rat. 85 fresh bid here.
The internet bids are flying in.
90, 90 pound a bid at 90 it is, then at all done the case set at 90. Gavels up at 90 pounds.
They're going for more money than I thought they were worth.
We move from America to that country, slightly north.
Yep, a set of 5 silver Canadian coins commemorating 50 years of the Alaskan Highway.
I go straight in at 60 pounds, 65, 70, 70 pound at 70, at 75, 80, 80 pounds it is. Yes, sir, 85, thank you.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised what people buy.
Gonna sell at 85 pounds, 90, 2 of them jumped in at the same time, sorry, 5, sir, 95, 100.
Keep going, jump in.
110, selling at 110.
This stuff has been sat in our attic for 4, 5 years.
After auctioning off the rest of the coins, Stuart's steam-driven choo-choo train is up next.
Now this is a great thing. A lot of interest in this. We go 140, 150, 160, 160, 160, 170, 180. We're all done at £180. I'm selling at 180.
A local steam train enthusiast will be enjoying this one.
It made more than I paid for it.
Full steam ahead, and it's Stuart's grandparents' things next, one of which is his grandfather's piece of a Lancaster bomber.
It's kit form. We're going to sell a piece each week. Well, we start off low. 12, 15, 18, 20, 2, 25, 28, 30, 2, 5, 8, 40, 2, 5, 8, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
Bids are flying in from everywhere.
90 quid.
£100 up 100. Imagine if we had a whole one. 110. We're all done for the part of a Lancaster at £110.
I only lived in the cabinet because it had a certificate that I didn't want to get damp.
And from his grandmother's jewellery box, the surprise sovereign necklace that Harriet found.
Where should be for this? 300, 320, 350, 380, 400, 420. I'm out at 420.
And Rochelle didn't think this was worth anything.
We're all done at 400, 440. I've got 450. 450 on the book. 460 is the next bit. 460. Commissions are out. At £460 it is then.
460 quid.
Selling at 460.
Sold for a premium price.
Jeez.
To a collector from Manchester. Now, buckle up for some aeronautical action.
We start this fantastic model collection.
Oh, we're on the aircraft now.
Yeah.
The first 9, a lot of commercial airliners from all across the globe.
1/400 scale die-cast airliner models there. £130 straight in at 130, at 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. At 200, 210. 210, we're flying away. 220. See what I did there?
There's a feeding frenzy amongst the model collectors.
280. At 280, we're all done. 290, 290, 300, thank you.
Wow.
The gavel is up. Don't mistake it. At £300.
A great result. Will 22 die-cast airliners and military planes do even better?
180, 190, 190, we're at 190, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, £300 at...
And these were all just sat in the loft
In the loft?
boxes.
Gathering dust.
Yeah.
All done at 340.
And the models just keep coming.
This is a 132 scale mosquito. Huge it is. I've never seen a mosquito so big, actually. Bid, 50, 55, 55, and it's 60 bid.
Oh no, this one's going. I thought the big ones were less desirable, but these are going.
80 it's at, selling at 80.
And after Angus sells all of the other 300 model aircraft,
At £80. 280. 300.
the auction is finally over.
Do you think it's time to have a chat with Angus?
Let's see how we did.
See how well we did.
Will Stuart and Emma be flying high?
Yeah, it went all right, didn't it?
It did go all right, yeah. Yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that like aircraft models, isn't there?
There's a lot of people that like aircraft
Yeah.
models. We had some overseas interest. I mean, the money's is going to go towards helping your wife, is that right? I mean,
Yes.
Mum, yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have a figure that you were hoping to raise, or?
Stair lifts are quite expensive. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for somewhere about 3 or 4.
Okay, so really 3,000 or 4,000 to get a stair lift, which is
Yeah,
a big help.
yeah, that'd be nice, yeah.
Well, you'll be taking home £10,037.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a stair lift and some bathroom adaptations.
And that's all been in your loft, just rotting away.
That's a lot of money.
We always like to shock people.
Yeah, that was a shot. That'll make Rochelle's life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you, no problem at all.
Massive surprise. There's 1 or 2 things that we've have in mind that we never thought we'd be able to pay for. Anything disabled is expensive. Really surprised that we had that much stuff in that little loft.
I'm absolutely delighted for them, and I'm really glad, you know, it's going to help Rochelle, his wife. It's moments like that when you're really making a difference to people's lives, you know, and to be able to do that for somebody is a real privilege.
As soon as one auction's finished with one set of happy customers, there's another job lined up.
Do you think Barney's about ready, Pete?
I hope so, yeah.
Well, I've got a bit of a drive.
Where are we going?
Heading south, Spalding in Lincolnshire.
Right then, Barney, you best get in.
Oh, Barney, he's covered in mud, Pete.
I'm sorry.
Look at the state of the van.
Now's not the time to fall out, as it's a 3-hour drive to Lincolnshire.
Wipe your feet next time, Barney. Ready, Barney? Of course he is.
They're off to meet Lee and Kevin, who've asked for help with the collection that's got a bit out of hand. And it's not the myriad of moggies.
We've always had cats, and we end up with now 7 cats.
No, the collection they want Angus to remove isn't whiskers, it's whiskey.
We've collected whiskey water jugs. We've got the yearly Bell's decanters. We used to go round boot sales and antiques fairs and various shops and stuff, and it just overtakes everything. It's nice to have, but it's just too much now.
They're having a bit of a fin out, and I think they've got a large collection and various items that I think they're looking to part with. So hopefully we can help.
Right, yeah, well, sure, we'll give it a go.
Lee and Kevin's decision to get rid of their whiskey collection came as part of a bigger life change.
About 6 years ago, I was struggling at work. Something came on, I had trouble walking, and then about 12, 18 months later I got diagnosed with ME. And it has changed our lives. There's good days and bad days where I can sleep all day or I'm just tired and lethargic, and it's a challenge.
And we deal with whatever happens each day.
Yeah.
Now Kevin has to ration his energy. Their whiskey memorabilia hunting trips have to take a back seat.
We sort of sat there and thinking, we've had 30 odd years of fun doing it, which with my ME now we don't do. We can't go to fairs and antiques festivals and stuff. Now's a good time to get rid of it.
Pull in there, Pete.
Good morning.
Good morning, you all right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Good.
Do
Right,
come in.
thanks.
Just mind you don't fall over any of the trip hazards. This is Kevin.
Wow, not going to miss you, are we?
I thought I'd put something bright on for you, just to try and cheer your day up.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I suppose we best go and have a look at this collection, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you follow Lee.
Follow me. Okay.
Okay. Right.
As you can see, a little room that's a little bit taken over.
So I'm taking it you're into whiskey.
Yes, just a little bit. Yeah, we started off 35 years ago.
You've got a whole range. I mean, it's just not accessories, is it? You've got all the jugs and things like that, but miniatures and sort of big bottles.
It's nice to sit in there some nights and just listen to a bit of music, and the cats like to sit in there and listen to a bit of music. So yeah, if we can get rid of some of it, all of it, and free that space up and do something different with it, that'll be great.
And is it just the whiskey collection, or, I mean, you know, furniture, is that?
Yeah, the chairs can go, because they're not the most comfortable things for me these days. Yeah, it takes me a fortnight to get out of them, but...
Especially when you've had a whiskey, yeah. Well, I think I've got my work cut out. I best go get Pete in, and we'll make a start.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Terrific.
You're right.
It's freezing.
Why aren't you sat in the cab?
Well, I have been, but you get bored.
Barney been for a walk?
Yeah, he's been for a walk.
Is he safe in there? 'Cause
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
7 cats in there.
7?
Oh, there's a lot of whiskey.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
that'll
on.
keep me warm if no else.
No, you're driving, Pete.
Oh.
Oh, a lot of these are empty, aren't they?
As well as decanters and bottles, Lee and Kevin have collected around 200 whiskey water jugs, over 200 miniature whiskies and other spirits, and a huge jumble of memorabilia.
Yeah, have you ever seen that, Pete? Whiskey in a can.
Let's have a look.
Yeah. Bit better to whiskey in a jar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, song there.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unusual, that. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
We sort of started this off your nan used to run a pub.
She did used to run a pub for many years, ever since I was a baby. And when they left the pub, we had some bits from the pub. The first thing we had was an old, well, obviously it's older than me, so an old Bell's square jug, which always, from the time I can remember, sat in the bar at their pub. And that's kind of where it all started and snowballed from.
The whisky market, certainly in the last 10 years, has become huge. Whisky tends to be more expensive than other drinks because it has to mature, it has to go through that process to become whisky for 3 years before it can legally be called a whisky. There's an interesting thing that they call the angel share in a cask, and so much evaporates over the years, and that's basically the angels taking their share of the whisky. So, yeah, it's a lengthy, interesting process making whisky, but when you get it right, there's a good market for it.
Although they've sunk hundreds of pounds into their collection over the years, Lee and Kevin have no idea how much it would be worth at auction.
I think we've got a sort of a list of things that we want to do with the proceeds. World cruise, go and visit the kids in Australia, do a bit of decorating, or just go for a meal. I can't see the world cruise being enough unless Angus does a real good job.
Among all this collection is all these fantastic whisky jugs, and these would have sat on a bar and promoted the product. And what we'll do is we'll go through all of these jugs, and some of them will sell in a group lot, bigger ones, the more modern and common ones, and then there'll be 1 or 2 lots that we just have 1 or 2 in that are slightly more unusual. But there's a real market there for particularly advertising where people love those.
Finally, after 3 hours of boxing up the hundreds of fragile bottles and jugs, the day is done.
Oh,
Oh, blimey.
yeah. We've emptied your whisky room.
Wow.
Still a bit of a shock seeing an empty room.
It is, yeah, after you sort of think, yeah, you spent 35 years doing it.
Well, I have got a little treat for you because part of your whisky collection, I think, was missing a particular whisky. So this is my favourite whisky for you that Pete's going to bring in. This is a Yorkshire whisky that we've brought down specially for you.
Right, OK. So this is you're saying the best whisky?
Well, in my opinion, because it's, you know, from Yorkshire. Cheers to auction day.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Pete. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Yeah, let's do it then, shall we?
Poor Pete. He's clearly today's designated driver. Chin chin, here's to a great auction ahead and the end of an era for Lee and Kevin.
You know, they're saying goodbye to a collection that's taken them 35 years to build, and they'll be sorry to see it go. However, it's the miniatures that could yield a good result for us. There's some really interesting names among them. Yeah, fingers crossed on this one. Hopefully we do okay.
Job done. It's time to hit the road after a final check.
A quick double check on the van to make sure that you're not stealing any cats.
Well, I didn't plan to, but good thinking.
Catastrophe averted.
Hiya, Barney. Look at you wagging taily. Have you been seeing some cats?
And customers satisfied.
It's one chapter closes, another one opens.
Right, Barney, come on, move up.
All that's left is to get the hundreds of fragile bottles and jugs back home in one piece.
See you, mate.
Drive safely, Pete. After the long drive back from Lincolnshire,
All right, Mark.
Now, Pete, I was thinking...
You're always waiting, aren't you?
I'm
when I
always
get
waiting,
back?
always ready.
outdoor manager Mark is on hand to help with the unload.
Loads of whiskey. I've never seen so much whiskey, to be honest. All sorts of different bottles.
I mean, we've had some good sales of whiskey. I mean, people are buying them to literally as an investment.
This apparently is a sherry barrel, which I've never heard of.
Oh, yeah. Of course, whiskey. I mean, certain whiskies do go into sherry barrels. That's what gives them the colour and the... Oh, yeah, that's really nice, isn't it? Amontillado sherry, product of Spain. Very nice. Interesting going through these. Right.
Yeah, well, just make sure you come out first before you start rooting. I've got van to empty.
Once everything's safely inside, the cataloguing can begin.
Miniatures are a great way of collecting some very good whiskies at a lot more affordable price.
Angus is valuing the baby bottles of booze.
We've seen at, auctions, good miniature whiskies now as a little collection selling quite well, and they do make good money. So it often works hand in hand with, you know, the full-size whiskey. So, you know, your expensive whiskies, if you've got a miniature of that, then that's going to be more expensive than others. You know, Macallan or something like that's going to make more money than one of your mainstream blends. So the single malts are still going to be better and slightly more desirable as a miniature. I can't really have a little dram of this, but, you know, if we have a really good sale, maybe I could buy a set for mine and Jeremy's office, you know, just for those days when a little dram just helps.
I know the feeling, Angus. 3 weeks after the clearance, it's the morning of the auction.
Could be worse, couldn't it? Could be snowing.
And Lee and Kevin have arrived to drink it all in.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. I think let's get some of this stuff sold. Get it all sold. It'd be nice, I think, if we can realise, I don't know, £1,200–1,500. If we can realise that'd be nice. Wouldn't it be worth the 30-odd years of collecting? So we'll have something back. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Kevin is a whiskey glass half full kind of guy. That's the spirit.
How are we going to get on today? I'm mixed emotions, if I'm honest. You know, whiskey collectors and people like that, for this type of thing, they'll know the lots they want. You know, there'll be specific lots that are going to do good money, and others they won't really want.
Oh, blimey, I've got the place. Huge, isn't it? There's our stuff, look. All over there. I don't know how we got all this stuff in the room. Let's hope Angus can sell it all.
Morning!
Morning, Angus. How are we doing?
Yeah, I've had a lot of interest, a lot of people viewing.
Good, good.
I mean, you're a bit dressed down today. I thought you'd make, you know, go all out for the auction, you know, your Hawaiian shirts and...
I've put something slightly different on for you.
Oh, my word.
So there you go.
It's like a pina colada.
There you go.
Right, well, I'll let you have a look round and
Thanks, mate.
catch up with you soon. Thanks.
Good.
With bidders in the room and online, all standing by, it's time for Angus to take to the rostrum. Joining him, auction clerks Emma and Heather will track online bids. And senior sales manager Jeremy is on porter duty. Don't worry, I'm sure that's apple juice. And we're off. Starting with a selection of plastic and china figures and model cars, all advertising whiskey.
25, 8, 30, 32, 222, £52, £55, 55 it is then, 40, £40, at 40, sale room bid, 42, easy life, at 42, it's all on the net, at £42 and 5, 45, 48, 50 bid, 50, a bid at 50 it is, 55 it is now, 60 surely now, selling at 55.
Some spirited bidding has got them off to a great start.
Nice little group. Yeah. That's okay.
Up next, a lot of 17 jugs advertising whiskies from all over Scotland. If only Jeremy could juggle.
There we go, where should be £40 bid, 2, 5, 8, 50, 5, 60, 65.
It's a bidder in the room vying with an internet bidder for this lot.
70 in the room. Room bid at 70. At 75, 5, 85, 90 room bid, 90, 95, 100, 100 bid, 110.
Ah, the room bidder is out.
120, 130. At £130 it's at. We're all done at 130.
And the internet bidder from Yorkshire gets them.
Top man.
With bidders frisky for the whiskey, we could be on for a great sale today. Now a collection of 14 bowls and jugs, all from the same distillery.
More jugs. All the bells, jugs.
Including the whiskey jug from Granny's pub.
We're at 48, 50, 55, 65, 70, £70, 75, 80, £80, 80 it is, then at 85, 85, 90, 90 it is, then at £90, 95, 95, 100, all done at £100.
Sold to a collector in Spennymoor.
Yo!
Yeah, we'll live for that. Yeah.
Up next, the drink itself.
I've got 95.
Starting with 6 Bells whiskey Christmas decanters from the early 2000s. Don't drop them, Jeremy.
At £95 on commission this time at 95, 100. But 100 it is, then at 100. Selling then, commissions are out.
This gentleman bid as well. Did he still want to bid?
You want to be in, sir?
Twist his arm.
110 for you. Yep, 110. Room bid at 110.
Yes, go on.
Selling at 110.
A good sale, but it's time to get in another round.
Nicely squeezed.
There we go, the old Putney.
And it's 2 aged single malts.
2 nice bottles there.
One from Speyside and the other from Caithness.
I've got £40 straight in, 42, 5, 8, 50, 5 anywhere, 55, 60, 65, thank you, 65 it is. That's £65 gavels up, don't mistake it, I'm selling at 65.
Sold to a connoisseur from Lincolnshire.
That's good. They were just sat in the cupboard, weren't they?
Yeah.
So,
They were never going to get drunk.
no.
And now 3 bottles of 12, 15 and 18-year-old single malt.
There we go, 60, 70, 80, and 85 anywhere now, 85, 90, £90 with me. Got 3 of you bidding, the bid's on commission at 90, 5 to take it. I'm going to sell them to commission at £90, we're all done at 90.
So, this is adding up to a nice little sum.
Yes.
Next, the first of 13 lots of miniatures.
That's a good lot.
This one containing 9 Scottish and American whiskies.
£75 we start at, 80, 85, 90, 90 and bid at £90 at 90, 90 it is then at 90, we're all done at 90, selling at £90.
The little bottles get a big price tag. Cheers!
Happy, yeah. More, yeah.
Over the next half hour,
55, all done.
miniatures from more than 60 of Scotland's whisky distilleries
£38.
go under the hammer.
Selling then at £160.
Sold to bidders from all over the UK. After finding buyers for several lots of Beswick porcelain animals Angus found behind the whisky,
Selling then at 32.
it's time to see if anyone is interested in the 2 whisky room chairs.
Got 2 commission bids, which means we have to start at £340 the pair.
Woo, go.
At £340 it is then, looking for £360. At £340, the gavel is up then. It's all done at £340.
Sold to a bidder from Scarborough. And with that, the auction is over.
Well done, Angus.
So are Lee and Kevin feeling like their glass is half empty or half full?
Were you smiling?
I don't know how surprised you were, but we certainly were.
We had an inkling it was going to do well, yeah. I suppose you'd like to know what you'll be going away with.
Yeah, go on, do I need to sit down?
You'll be taking away £2,158.
Wow. Thank you, Angus.
You're welcome. Well, take care, and I'm sure you'll be raising a toast tonight.
Cheers, Angus. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Cheers, mate. That was really good. Enjoyed the auction, enjoyed the whole experience. A good amount of money, which is nice. So 35 years worth, we've got
A bit back.
A bit back, yeah.
Well, Kevin is walking away a very happy man, and I'm glad. I think we've far exceeded his expectations. You know, the whisky collectors were there. They knew the lots they wanted, and over and all, I think they should be very pleased with a good result and a job well done.